Hello students, welcome back to the online classes of biology day 3. In the last class we have studied about the importance of carbon dioxide and importance of the sunlight. Here we are going to study about the chlorophyll and photosynthesis. We know that plants are performing photosynthesis and it is prepare their own food material because it contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is one of the green colored pigment present in the plant body. Here, after the experiments of John Ingenhousz and Engelmann, John Ingenhousz is going to be continued to know more about the photosynthesis, how it is going to be performs the photosynthesis. He is going to be find out that there is one of the green colored pigment is present in the plants and it is going to be performs the photosynthesis and it is able to prepare their own food material. There was so many years it is going to be continued and there are so many scientists are going to be studied about the importance of the chlorophyll. Later, finally, there is some of the scientists, their name was Pelletier and Coventou. Pelletier and Coventou in the year 1817 they are going to be try to extract the chlorophyll from the plant body. Generally we know that plants are green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll only. Chlorophyll is situated in the green leaves of the plants. Then what about the remaining plants? Some of the plants are consisting of yellow leaves and red color leaves that means it doesn't have the chlorophyll because only they are not able to perform photosynthesis. Here Pelletier and Coventou extract one of the green colored pigment from the plant body that is from the leaves in the year 1817. And later there are so many experiments are going to be conducted and there are where it is going to be consisting of the chlorophyll. All the peoples are believed that the entire leaf is going to be consist the chlorophyll, but where it is going to be situated and where it is going to be find and how it is going to be perform photosynthesis, and on that there are so many other scientists are going to be conduct the experiments. Among them there is one of the scientists, his name was Julius van Sachs. In the year 1883 he is going to be studied about the chloroplast. That means chloroplast is one of the cell organelle which is present in all the cells of the green leaves. Nearly it is going to be consisting of the 40 to 100 chloroplasts in the cells of the green leaves, especially at the stomatal gourd cells and ground tissues. All these tissues which is going to be consisting of the cells, among in that cells which is going to be consist of the chloroplasts up to 40 to 100. That is about the chloroplast. That means we can simply say that Ingenhousz is going to be find out that chlorophyll is responsible for the photosynthesis, and later Pelletier and Coventou extract the chlorophyll and Julius van Sachs extract the chlorophyll and it is find out that which is present in the chloroplast of the green leaves. And here where does chloroplast is present and how it is going to be performs the photosynthesis. For that we are going to be studied about the structure of leaf. For that where the chloroplast, where the chlorophyll is present, that is we are going to be find out by the studying of the structure of leaf. For that here we are going to be study about the transverse section of the leaf. Whenever we are going to be cut the leaf in the transverse section, it is going to be appeared in this structure under the microscope. Just we have to find out that tears of leaf, whenever we can find the tears of leaf, just we have to find that there is one of the layer is there on the upper portions, just like we are going to be find out that it is called as the cuticle. It is present on the upper side of the leaf, at the same time it is also present in the lower side of the leaf. That means at the both sides of the leaf which is going to be covered with one of the layer that is called as the cuticle. At the same time below the cuticle which is going to be consisting of one of the layer that is we can call as an epidermis, that is an upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Just like skin on the animal body which is going to be consist of one of the epidermal layer, that epidermal layer which is called as the upper epidermis and which is consisting of lower epidermis. And between the upper epidermis and lower epidermis, there are so many cells are present. If we are going to be observe that number of cells are present in the middle of the upper epidermis and lower epidermis. If we are going to be observe that here some of the cells are arranged in the regular rows. That is we call as the palisade parenchyma. These are continuously, the entire cells are called as the parenchyma cells. Among the parenchyma cells, some of the cells are arranged in the regular rows. That is we call as the palisade parenchyma. And if you are going to be observe that some of the cells are arranged below layer, that is irregularly arranged here. That irregularly arranged cells we call as the spongy parenchyma. The cells, those are arranged in the regular rows, are called as palisade parenchyma, and the cells, those are irregularly arranged, that is we call as an spongy parenchyma. If you are going to be observe that in the parenchyma cells only chloroplast is present, and these chloroplasts are consists of the chlorophyll, and this is the site of the photosynthesis. That means parenchyma cells consists of chloroplast. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll, and which is responsible for the photosynthesis. And between the parenchyma cells, there is some of the tissues are there, that is we called vascular tissue. Vascular tissue which is consists of the xylem and phloem. Xylem tissue which is responsible for the conduction of water and also minerals will be transported through the xylem tissue in the leaves. At the same time, phloem tissue is there, that phloem tissue which is responsible for the transportation of the food material. This is an structure of the leaf. Simply we are going to be observed that to know the where chloroplasts are situated. For that we are going to be studied about the structure of leaf between the upper and lower epidermis. There is some of the parenchyma cells are there. That parenchyma cells are consisting of the chloroplast. That chloroplast consisting of the chlorophyll. This chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis. That's why this chloroplast we call as the kitchen of the cells. Already we have discussed it. And here we are going to be studied about that parenchyma cells are consist of the chloroplast. This chloroplast which is responsible for photosynthesis. At the same time, there are so many scientists are going to be try to extract the chloroplast from the plant cells. Whenever many scientists are going to be try to extract the chloroplast, the cells are going to be cut down and chloroplasts are not able to extract. And finally, there is one of the scientists, his name was Daniel I. Arman. He is a scientist. He is going to be extract the chloroplast from the plant cells. Daniel I. Arman is a scientist who extract the chloroplast from the plant cells. Whenever he is going to be extract the chloroplast from the plant cells, and whenever he is observed under the microscope, it is appeared just like membranous structure. This is a structure of chloroplast. Here we have to find out that it is one of the membranous structure. Generally it is an disc shaped structure, or we can say that it is one of the disc shaped structure or oval shaped structure we are going to be find out here, and it is going to be consist of the three membranous structure. That is an outer, inner and outer layer, inner layer is there, and middle layer is there, and this is an outer membranes. These are the membranes which are around the chloroplast. Inside of the membranes, which is going to be consist of one of the colorless fluid, that is we can call as the stroma. Colorless fluid which is situated inside of the chloroplast is called as stroma. At the same time, which is also consisting of the some of the membranous structures inside of the stroma, that is we can call as the thylakoids. This is called thylakoids, where the photosynthesis or where the reactions are going to be takes place, and this stroma is responsible for the number of enzymatic reactions which are going to be takes place during the photosynthesis. At the same time, this chloroplast, which is going to be consisting of lipid granules, and it is also consists of the loop of DNAs, and it is also consists of the starch grain. Like that, the entire chloroplast, which is responsible for the photosynthesis. At the same time, this chloroplast, which is consists of the chlorophyll. There are two types of chlorophyll is there, that chlorophyll A and which is consists of the chlorophyll B. This chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B is there. That is an two types of chlorophylls are there. At the same time, this chlorophyll, which is orange green in color, blue green or orange green in color. At the same time, chlorophyll B is yellow green in color. It is an chlorophyll A, which is an orange green color, and chlorophyll B is yellow green color. At the same time, here this chlorophyll, which is going to be consisting of an one of the element, that is magnesium. How the iron is present in the hemoglobin of the blood. Here chlorophyll, which is going to be consisting of the magnesium, and this magnesium, which is responsible for the number of reactions which are going to be takes place in the chloroplast, or which are going to be takes place with the help of the chlorophyll. This is a structure of the chloroplast and presence of the chlorophyll. Because of the presence of the chlorophyll only, all the leaves are green in color. This is a structure of chloroplast. If you are going to be observed here, whenever we can find the structure of chloroplast, which is consisting of the grana and stroma, these are the main portions where the photosynthetic activities are going to be takes place, where the enzymatic reactions are going to be takes place, and where the starch is going to be prepared, and what are the reactions are going to be takes place in the chloroplast. That's we are going to be continued here, and just we have to find out that in the chloroplast there are two types of reactions are going to be takes place, that is we can call as an light reaction and dark reaction. With the help of the light reaction and dark reaction, plants are going to be prepare the food material in the photosynthesis act. Reactions takes place in the chloroplast, that is we are going to study it here. Already we have discussed chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B is there. Chlorophyll A is blue green color and chlorophyll B is yellow green color. These are the pigments which are responsible for the photosynthesis. There is a nearly 250 pigment molecules are present in the chloroplast. These all are very essential for the photosynthesis. So whenever reactions are going to be started, there are some of the events are going to takes place. What are the events are going to be takes place in the chloroplast? That's we can see here. That is a conversion of light energy to chemical energy. That means chloroplast traps the solar energy, and that solar energy is going to convert it into chemical energy. At the same time, splitting of water molecule. Whenever plants absorb the water, that water is going to be splits. And finally, carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrates. With the help of the carbon dioxide, finally carbohydrates are prepared in the chloroplast. These are the events or takes place in the chloroplast. How these are going to divides means these first two reactions or first two events are concluded as the light dependent reaction, and reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate is taken as a light independent reaction. That means first two events are takes place in the presence of sunlight, and this reaction is takes place in the absence of sunlight. First of all, here we are going to study about that mechanism of photosynthesis and how the photosynthesis is going to be performed in the chloroplast. That is we are going to study it here. Here, during the photosynthesis, some of the reactions are going to take place in the chloroplast. The first reaction, that is we can call as the light dependent reaction. Why it is called light dependent reaction means because it occurs only in the presence of sunlight. That's why it is called as the light dependent reaction, or it is also called photochemical reaction. Photochemical reaction. Photo means light, chemical reaction means irreversible reaction. That reaction we can simply call as the photochemical reaction. At the same time, here it is simply we can call as the light reaction. At the same time, this is discovered by the one of the scientists. His name was Robert Hill, so that it is also called as the Hill's reaction. That means simply we can say that the first reaction which takes place in the chloroplast is light dependent reaction, or it is also called photochemical reaction, or it is also called Hill's reaction, or it is also called light reaction. This light reaction takes place at the grana of chloroplast. Already we have discussed here grana of chloroplast. In the chloroplast, grana is there. In the grana, light reaction is going to take place. What's happening in the light reaction and how this reaction is going to be performed by the plants, and what are the changes will be takes place, and what are the products will be takes place in this light reaction, we are going to discuss it here. Here it is going to be takes place in the different steps. In the first step, if we are going to be observed here, solar energy is trapped by the chloroplast, that is an chlorophyll. Whenever chlorophyll traps the solar energy, due to the solar energy, the photons present in the sunlight, already we have discussed the light rays consisting of the quanta energy. Light rays are called photons. That photons activate the chlorophyll. That means chlorophyll is activated by the energy present in the photons. Whenever it is going to be activated, it is going to enter into the excited state from the ground state because of the presence of energy present in the photons. And whenever we are going to be observed here, the step 2 is going to be takes place whenever energy is taken by the chloroplast. With the help of that energy, water molecule is going to splits. Water molecule is going to splits into H plus ions and OH minus ions. H plus ions and OH minus ions are going to releases here, and every H plus ion, every hydrogen ion which is going to be consisting of the one electron and one proton. Whenever H plus ions and OH minus ions are going to be releases by the splitting of water molecule, this reaction, that is we can called as the photolysis. Here photo means light, lysis means breakdown. Here breakdown of water molecule takes place in the presence of sunlight, that's why it is called photolysis. And then if you are going to be observed here, the H plus ions and OH minus ions are going to releases here by the splitting of water molecule. That H plus ion is helpful to formation of water and oxygen during the photosynthesis. We already studied during the equation of photosynthesis, water and oxygen is released in the photosynthesis. So that is going to be formed by the OH minus ions present in the splitting of water molecules. That is, an water and oxygen is going to be released here. This water will be stored in the body of plants and oxygen is liberated into the atmosphere. It is released into the atmosphere. And these H plus ions, that means already we are studied, is going to be consisting of the electrons and protons. These H plus ions are going to makes the helpful for the making of some of the energy forms, that is we called as an ATP and NADP. What is ATP and NADP? ATP means that is we can call as the adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, that is we can call as the ATP, and another one that is we can call as the NADP, that is we can call as the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Dinucleotide phosphate, that is an NADP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate, NADP means nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. These are the two energy forms are formed by the assimilation of H plus ions released during the splitting of water molecule. These ATP and NADP are called as the assimilatory powers. These are the end products of the light dependent reaction, or we call as a light reaction. That means during the light reaction, The end products are ATP and NADP. And sometimes it is going to be takes the H plus ion and it is going to be finally it turns into NADP, turns into NADPH. That is a reduction by the reduction reaction. That means simply we are going to say that whenever water molecules are going to be splits, during that time that H plus ions and OH minus ions are going to be formed some other products. Here OH minus ion is going to be helpful for the formation of water and oxygen, and H plus ion is going to be helpful to formation of ATP and NADPH. This ATP and NADPH are called as an assimilatory powers, and these are the end products of light reaction, or we can call as the Hill's reaction. That is about the light dependent reaction. And then whenever ATP and NADP are formed during the light reaction, these are continued for the next reaction, that is called as an light independent reaction, or we can call as the biosynthetic phase, or it is also called as the dark reaction. Here we can say that by name itself we can understood light independent reaction. That means it is not depend on the light. That means this reaction which is takes place in the absence of light. It is also called dark reaction. That means dark reaction means it is not takes place in the dark, it is independent on the light. That means it is not depend on the light, so that we can call it as the dark reaction. Light independent reaction, or it is also called dark reaction or biosynthetic phase. Why it is called biosynthetic phase? Means bio means life, synthetic means preparation. The product which is essential for the life, like carbohydrates, that is we are studied carbon dioxide to carbohydrates, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, that is takes place in the light independent reaction. That's why it is called as the biosynthetic phase. Okay, whenever we can see here it is an light independent reaction, or it is called dark reaction, or it is also called biosynthetic phase. This reaction which is takes place at the stroma of chloroplast. Already we have studied stroma of chloroplast. It is an colorless fluid which is present inside of the chloroplast. That is called stroma of chloroplast. In the stroma of chloroplast, the light reaction is going to takes place here. See that, and this light independent reaction or dark reaction which is going to be discovered by the one of the scientists, his name was Melvin Kelvin, and because of that it is also we can call as that Kelvin reaction. Kelvin's reaction. It was discovered by the Melvin Kelvin, so that it is also called Kelvin's reaction. Just we have to see here, whenever if you are going to be find out here NADP is going to be reduced by the H plus ions and it is going to be converted into NADPH. Just we have to see in this light dependent reaction, or we can call the light reaction, the major factors like solar energy, chloroplast and water and carbon dioxide. All these are involved in this reaction. For example, if you see that sunlight which is involved in the light reaction, and water which is also involved in the light reaction, and the entire reaction which is takes place in the chloroplast, so that chloroplast is also involved here. But still now there is no involvement of the carbon dioxide. Whenever the carbon dioxide is absorbed by the NADPH, during that time it is going to turns into glucose by the number of enzymatic reactions and number of continuous sequences are going to be takes place. This ATP and NADPH is reduced, and ATP and NADPH is absorbs the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and finally it is going to produce as the glucose as an intermediate product of the RUBP, that is we can call as the ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate or diphosphate. It is an intermediate product which is formed during the dark reaction. Whenever ATP and NADP is going to be traps the carbon dioxide, whenever it is going to be absorb the carbon dioxide, this ribulose 1,5-diphosphate or bisphosphate is going to be formed as an byproduct, and to that after the continuous enzymatic reactions and continuous sequence of reactions, finally this is going to be turns into glucose. It is going to be forms the glucose. That is only we are going to be studied here, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. And this glucose is one of the simple sugar which is formed during the photosynthesis of the dark reaction. That is a dark reaction of photosynthesis. Just we have to say that it is a light independent reaction. It is discovered by the Melvin Kelvin, so that it is called as the Kelvin's reaction. In the Kelvin's reaction, which is going to be forms the carbohydrate such as glucose, and it is one of the simple sugar. These simple sugars are combined together, and finally which are going to be forms the starch. This starch is stored in the leaves of the plants, and this is going to be distributed all over the plant body, and which is going to be helpful for the survival of the all living organisms. That is an light independent reaction, and it is also we call as the Kelvin's reaction. For this, researchers Melvin Kelvin got the Nobel Prize also. See that is an entire reactions, light reaction and dark reaction. If you are going to observe the stepwise, in the first step, solar energy is going to be trapped by the chlorophyll and getting activated, and in the second step, splitting of water molecule into H plus and OH minus ions, and the third step, H plus ions are going to be turns into assimilatory powers such as ATP and NADP, and OH minus ions are going to be produce the water and oxygen. Light reaction takes place at the grana of chloroplast. It was discovered by the Robert Hill, so that it is also called Hill's reaction. And light independent reaction, which is called biosynthetic phase, which are discovered by the Melvin Kelvin, it is takes place at the stroma, and this NADP is reduces, and it is going to be traps the carbon dioxide and forms the glucose as an RUBP as an intermediate product. And finally, which is going to be forms the carbohydrates such as glucose, and that glucose is turns into starch. For the entire researchers, Melvin Kelvin got the Nobel Prize for his researches. That is about the light dependent reaction and light independent reaction. Light dependent reaction depends on light, that takes place in the presence of light. Light independent reaction not depends on the light, it is takes place in the absence of light. That is about the mechanism of photosynthesis. These are the sequences are going to take place to prepare the food material in the chloroplast, so that plants are able to prepare their own food material, and it is going to be stored in their leaves, and it is going to be distributed to the various parts of the plant body, and it is going to be provide the food for the all living organisms. That's why we can say that only green plants can prepare the food material, and it is going to be provide the food for all the living organisms on the earth surface. That's why we can say chloroplast is an kitchen of the cell, and that's why we can say photosynthesis is an basic life process. It is the only process on the earth surface which can prepare food material and which can release oxygen. Those are essential for the survival of all living organisms. That's why we can consider plants are the wonderful gift given by the nature. That is about the importance of the photosynthesis, and that is about the preparation of food material during the photosynthesis. That is a light and dark reaction, and we are going to be studied about that chloroplast and TS of leaf, everything. Once you can refer in the books, and once you can practice the diagrams of TS of leaf and chloroplast. Thank you.